So in the last video, before I was rudely cut off by my very free software to show you how to do all this stuff with community impacts, I was banging on about the funding categories. So what you want to do is that make sure that your program or your project or your event or whatever it is that you're asking for money for hits as many of these funding categories as possible. So because we're getting a laptop and scanner for a community group, we're going to go strengthening infrastructure. I'm going to say it's encouraging connected communities because we will be connected because we're a community group and we are attracting people to our committee because we want to be at least part of the 20th century, if not the 21st. If we were putting on a sporting, not sporting, sorry. So if we were putting on a dance, for instance, we might put promoting healthy lifestyles, certainly encouraging connected communities. So there's just different things. If you have a look at the guidelines, it actually expands on these categories more, so you can actually see how your project fits into those and you can talk about it. So down here, this is where you would say our program that we're asking for funding for hits these particular areas of the funding categories because X, Y, Z. So that's what you need to do. And we need to also outline what the expected community impact of the project is. So for instance, with the Goat House Studios buying a laptop and scanner, the impact on the community would be that we're a well-run organisation. With all our files in the one place, we've got access by the committee members or so the president and the secretary and the treasurer, for instance, will have access to the files, so we'll be able to expedite any of the things that we need to do for reporting against expenditure and that sort of stuff. And what is the expected community benefit? So if I was to put on a dance for older socially isolated people, then the community benefit would be people are less socially isolated, they're coming out, they're having fun. They might be getting a good meal at the same time, they might be meeting with friends again, they might be getting a bit of physical exercise and give them a bit of a mental health workout as well. So just think about how your project that you're seeking funding for actually hits these. How will you know if the outcomes have been achieved? It might be something like a survey, for instance. You might talk to people on the day of the event if it was an event, or you might do a compare and contrast of how you ran your organisation 12 months ago and how you are running it after you get your laptop, for instance. So it really is about what's specific to your funding, and we can help you with that. So please provide any evidence of community support. So you might actually have some letters of support from organisations and people in the community that are important to your organisation, and then you can scan them or take a photo of them and upload them here. And how do you plan to evaluate your project? You might actually survey your committee members in the first instance, find out that there's a need for the laptop, get the laptop, and then 6 months later perhaps even ask people again if it's working, and if people have stopped actually putting things on their personal computers and using the laptop that's designated for the community group. And have you contacted council to discuss your project? And if you spoke to me, Rose Young, or Sandra, or anyone at council, because it might be someone in planning or it might be someone in events, you just need to pop their name in there just so that we know who you've spoken to and that you've considered it. And I'm going to go to the next page, which is budget information, everyone's favourite, and we'll start a new video.